What it do, YouTube? So, this is an overdue video that I promised for almost a couple months now, and some people have been asking me, hey, when are you gonna do this unboxing video? And I have to leave some reviews for these eBayers eventually, so let's knock it out, shall we? This is going to be, well, let's leave it a surprise to you. These are two Blackberries, both limited edition. One is red and one is blue. This one's from Canada. Not that you needed to know that, but that's why this one took a little bit longer, even though I ordered it first. Yeah. How about that? And this one's already out of its box, so we have the Blackberry Key2 limited edition, 6 gigabytes, 128 internal storage, and the limited edition Blackberry Q20. And apparently, according to Tech Odyssey, check him out, the best Blackberry reviewer on YouTube. He does every phone pretty much from what I could tell, but he just has an affinity for Blackberry. He is a veteran like myself, and when it comes to what we need to do, we really enjoy these keyboards. So this is kind of a red versus blue, but I'm not going to do a comparison at the moment. This is just an unboxing that I've been patiently waiting a couple of months to do. Not only me, but my subscribers have been asking about it. So I need white gloves, people. I feel like I need to be touching this with some white gloves, and that's why I had to wait, because I needed matte finish, IQ Shield. Highly recommend these screen protectors, because as you can see just how glossy this screen can be. I don't like it fingerprints everywhere, so I'm about to show you real quick with my collection of Blackberry Privs. This is how much I like Blackberry. I keep buying the Priv, and when you got two, this one's bricked. This one, it's a brick. So these two, this one's just a battery, is kind of not trustworthy. So it's kind of a bedside Blackberry, so I can YouTube on this and Reddit on this one, and vice versa. Everybody knows a keyboard. I mean, this is the go-to. This is probably the greatest platform ever created, in my opinion, and opinions of people like me, because when you're behind the wheel of anything, you don't have to look at the keyboard. You know exactly where everything's at because it's got tactile feedback, just like your QWERTY keyboard. So since these two are the good ones, let me go ahead and show you just how beautiful the Blackberry Priv screen looks when you peel it off. And this is a bricked one, so I don't care that I'm peeling off this $4 screen protector. I'm doing it for you. Doing it for YouTube. Look how beautiful this 5-year-old Blackberry Priv looks. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. Oh, and the sliding ability of this 5-year-old phone. No grit, it's perfect. It's amazing. So if there was a way, well, I'm just saving this for parts really, because the screen is perfect, and if I ever need it, well, it's here. So this is going to be a parts device from here on out. I'm just going to put this in the safe and save it for a rainy day. And it's weird, I put both Blackberries of these back to back, and it prompted for welcome to Blackberry content transfer, like it's trying to wirelessly transfer between the two. I don't think I accidentally touched the transfer app. It feels like, because I touched these two together, I wanted to do some NFC backup thing, but I digress. Here's the Blackberry Key2. I guess we could turn it on. Why not? I gotta leave a review for this guy. He sent me a brand new unboxed Blackberry, and who's to know if it's even gonna boot up, because if this was made in 2018, she might need a charge, so you're going to have to wait for that. But the good news is, the next time you see it, it's not going to be as glossy. It's going to have this beautiful matte finish when I'm done. And I went ahead and bought the only 2 boxes of these in stock just for this build. I'm also waiting for the leather. This is the Key2 case. Wanted one of those too, because if you haven't been following, The Blackberry Key2 came out at $750 for the red edition. It was $700 for the black. However, ever since the pandemic, it has crept up from $1,100, $1,200, $1,800 up to $2,200. So when I found this on eBay for $9.99 new in box, I had no choice. I had to get this device because I knew what it was selling for in 2018 and I knew what it was selling for in 2020 COVID. Now, I don't know if it's COVID to blame, but I will say that I was following on eBay a $1.5 million Blackberry Porsche design that went to $2.3 million during COVID. I don't know what to make of that. All I can tell you is that this was inflating along with that special edition Porsche design. And that was a 2014 phone going for $2.3 million. This phone went up to $2,300 and I got it for $1,000, though it was original MSRP at $750. The difference between the Priv and the Key2 is that there's this special convenience key at the bottom right side of the keyboard. Again, check out Tech Odyssey. The reason he didn't buy this one is he said it was too hard to get. So when I saw it, I bought it. Same thing in this one. He said he saw this blue Blackberry Q20 on eBay and he couldn't bring himself to spend the $300 on it. So I bought this knowing, I was like, well, I'm never going to be able to buy a Key2. Never, ever, ever going to be able to afford to pay $2,200, $2,300 for a $750 phone that's 2 years old already. It's like, it's out of my reach. I'm going to go ahead and spend $300 on this limited edition Blackberry Q20. Well, then 2 days later, on April 20th, the Blackberry Key2 shows up on eBay 2 days after buying this for $9.99 plus tax. And I had to do it. There was no choice. I had to do this because I've ran the life cycle of the Blackberry Priv. It's a 2015 phone. I've got 3 of them, as you can see, and I'm just not going to. It's not realistic to think I can go into 2025 with already a 5-year-old phone. Will be 10 years old at that point. It's not. So I'm going to have to transition from the sliding form factor to this, and maybe I'll use the Key2 as my hotspot to my new MSI GS75 laptop and a hotspot to these 2 Blackberries, so I can do YouTube and Reddit on one, and maybe the Key2 I set it aside for just email and note taking and all those things, because this has 6 gigs of RAM. I'm not going to have any issues with this whatsoever. So I'm looking forward to powering this up and showing you. I am in another YouTuber studio, Green Handle Guy. You can check him out on YouTube because I'm visiting down from Washington in Oregon. So check him out and thank him for prompting me to do this and get it done. Stay tuned and we will compare these devices once I get them charged up. Alright YouTube, we are back. Charged this up to 44% and I don't know what this one charged up to, and I never turned on these devices because they were essentially new in box. This was new in box. This one didn't come with a box, but it still has all of the plastic that it would have if it was new in box. This one I put the protector on and I like the way it feels. So let's try to turn these on at the same time if we can, but SIM, SD on the sides. Just volume mute. Oh, top. It's on the top. So that's interesting. Learn something new every day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still holding the one on the left. Okay. And so the Key2 had a head start. I pressed them both at the same time. And obviously Key2 is going to start first since it already had that 5-second head start. But it is interesting that the power button is on the top of the Blackberry Q20, where it's now on the right side of the TCL branded Blackberry Key2 Red Edition. There is an Atomic Edition, that's an LE version. It only has 4 gigs of RAM if I'm not mistaken. Cool. Well, you guys are just gonna have to wait for a full review because I'm not ready to slam my SIM card in just yet. I'm still waiting for a screen protector before I get my grubby paws all over this screen. This one already came with a factory one. It's still booting up, but then again, it's a 2014 device if I'm not mistaken. And Tech Odyssey said this one was too difficult to acquire or he wasn't going to spend the $300 to do it. So I did, thinking I was never ever going to get this limited edition Blackberry Key2, which I did 2 days after. So we are into the setup screen, do English. And it is touch capacitive screen, that's good, which I would expect. country, yada yada yada. So like I said, I'm gonna go through all this next and not read the stuff they tell you to read. All right, YouTube, we're gonna call that a YouTube timeout because we took some time to update the Blackberry Key2, which has a fingerprint sensor, so that's nice. You have to do it like 20 times because it's a small section of the keyboard, and so it takes a little bit of time for it to memorize your whole thumb or finger, and you can add multiple fingers if you want to. One thing that I am upset about is that the tool required to extract the SD SIM card is longer than the previous generation, which means that the $150 Leatherman bracelet band that I purchased for my Garmin watch is now too short. This won't work. You need a longer tool such as this one up here in order to extract it. So now my $150 watch band has one less tool, so that's outstanding. Next, I wanted to point out that something I'm missing is that I have quick shortcuts, and maybe there's an app for that, and if there is, please let me know. This is one of the things I love most about this phone, is that the three things I get into the most, Reddit, Glide, and Rocket Player, which is my music app, the things that you want to get into quickly using this feature is not available on the Key2, and it might be an app, and if it is an app, please comment down below with how I can replace this because I'm gonna miss it. Something else I wanted to point out is the unlock feature. On the Blackberry Priv, they have an additional security measure if you choose to use it, which is safer than using the pattern or a pin number, because if you're in the theater or somebody's looking over your shoulder, they can see it. That's a nice feature. Then it goes to the pattern if you did it wrong. That locking feature, basically you pick a number and a certain spot on your wallpaper and it'll unlock every time. And I guess one last thing, which is not related to the phone, is these magnetic USB-C chargers are a godsend because plugging and unplugging any port repeatedly is obviously going to cause degradation. The metal's going to deteriorate and you're going to lose, it's going to be weaker and it's always going to slide out and eventually just break altogether. So if you're going to use a port often, get a magnetic adapter if you can, if it's available. And in order to put on this case, I have to remove it, but this case is, well, first of all, I should show you the back. The back is on every Blackberry. You can't drop these phones. And this one, well, the reason this one's even bricked, I did drop this one 6 feet onto concrete. Didn't leave a scratch, didn't leave a mark. I showed you earlier when I took off the screen just how perfect it is. You can see some marking on the bezel up here, the metal bezel, but the screen was perfect. 6 months later, actually it was an update that made it give up the ghost. So the port went bad before I started using magnetic ports. That's the reason I'm telling you to use them. So that port went bad. I had 2% charge left, went and bought a $70 wireless charger and used that feature for the first time ever just to get me through another week. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Let's do an update since it's available, and it bricked the phone. Ever since then, this one hasn't booted up, and that's why. And I'm glad that came to me. But like I said, these are so sticky on the back, it's hard to drop. The only reason I dropped it, it jumped out of my jacket pocket when I was jumping over some stairs at work, and yeah, it fell flat onto concrete, and look how beautiful that screen is. And you could say the screen protector had a little say in that, but it is also Gorilla Glass 4 from 2015. So this is an outstanding product, and I'm sure they moved on since then. But every Blackberry has this very sticky backing. I'd say the Priv is twice, if not more, sticky than this, but it's still sticky. Now, anytime you buy an aftermarket case, all the cases are slippery, so you lose. Sure, you got the impact resistance now with these cases, but they're slippery and you're gonna be dropping them. So it's one of those things, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. But I'm going to do it because I want to protect my investment and keep these corners nice. So in conclusion, Blackberry, even in 2020, it's still viable, absolutely, because these are Android devices. And yes, the Priv is stuck at Marshmallow 6.0 if I'm not mistaken, and the Key2 is at 8.0. I know that Android's at OS 10 if I'm not mistaken, so this is going to be probably stuck at 8. And that's fine, because I can't afford brand new car either, and I'm at a point in my life where I'm not going to be at the current level of OS, just like I'm not at the current level of Ford or Chevy or whatever, because you're driving around 7-year-old Bluetooth technology that can't connect to multiple devices. So there's frustration in that regard. So if I have to use older devices in order to get by, then I'm going to do that, just like my car, because, well, I'm not going to drive off the lot and lose $5,000. That doesn't make any sense. They're making phones through planned obsolescence so that they're no longer as good. But like I said, these devices have gotten me past through the past 3 years, and now this $800 device is available on eBay for $135. So why would anybody not consider to do that if you don't want to damage your $1,000 phone? Then maybe have a side chick, if you will, that is dispensable. Now, take that as a joke, because I don't mean that in real life. I'm talking with your devices. If you want to protect your ass, if you have a Porsche 911 or something in the garage that you want to keep nice with low miles, well, you're going to have a daily driver. So I think that these make great daily drivers, and then maybe keep your $1,000 phone on the weekends, if depending where you're at, where, you know, it depends on the environment and where you work. Because if you don't have the insurance, you're gonna have to buy it, replace it with out of pocket. So I like these phones. They're still cheap, available, and anybody can get them. So we will leave it at that. In a week or two, I'm going to go ahead and do a full review, because I will put my SIM card in. I'm gonna rock this, and I will let you know just how much I like or dislike it compared to the Priv. I'm gonna point out everything. So stay tuned for that. Take care. God bless. Keep looking up, because I guarantee that if he's got a plan for me, then he's got to have a plan for you.